Boxing Show with your host, Mr. A. Sitting here, it's a what? Tuesdays, officially 3 days after Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. You know, rewatching it, going back, how are the thoughts? What's people's thoughts about it? And like I said, I made the video Wilder's Christmas gift. Now, at that moment, yeah, I feel I still, I don't argue against the draw. I just feel Fury won that fight, but a draw is very understandable. Now, I can't say if Wilder won the fight. That's what I can't say. I think he definitely uh, fought himself to earn a draw. Obviously, you give him rounds 12, 9. I gave him rounds 2. In the fight, I had a toss-up round, which was round 5. You know, so just saying you give Wilder round 5. So all he needs is one more round to have a draw. So it's not out of the question that there's another round because I rewatched the fight. I gave round 4 to Wilder. So give round 4 with my 5. That toss up with the 2 knockdowns. It's a draw. So like I said, just at the moment, the first watch, I gave the edgier rounds to Fury. Like I don't know if it was for the fact that I was rooting for Wilder so hard to win that when I saw his mess ups, I over magnified them. You know, like, but hey, a draw is a draw. It's that's what a draw is. When you got some people saying this guy won, some people saying that guy won, then hey, you know what? That fight does sound like a draw. Like I said, now a gift and a robbery. I made this on the end of the episode 13, but I could, if you don't feel like, please go watch episode 13. But if you're not a full double RT boxing episode watcher, a difference between a gift and a robbery is when no one thinks you won and you win. That's a robbery. You know, it's, there's people out there that thought Wilder won, and it's hard to say it's not a draw. So it's not a robbery. I don't think it's a robbery. I don't think the masses are completely out there saying Deontay Wilder lost this fight. I don't think the masses are saying he don't deserve a draw. When you got people saying you lost and you don't deserve a draw, but you win, that's a robbery. When it's okay, maybe 55-45, people are saying Fury won, then it's a gift. When it's art when an argument can be made that he won, but still it's a high percentage saying okay maybe he lost. It's a gift. You know, like I said, he definitely earned a draw. He definitely did that. You know, I just think it's so surprising to see Deontay Wilder do six. Like I said, Fury controlled a lot of that fight. He controlled a lot between movement, gap control, um, answering right back on combinations when he did get tagged. He'd throw a 3-piece at Deontay Wilder real fast. And the weight definitely played a factor in that fight. Like even though if they're ratty tat tat punches, you can see that 40-pound difference in a man. Even though Wilder was blocking some, just that 40 pounds was shaking him up. And that played a big visual part in the fight. And like I said, besides Tyson's positivity performance, it's and then you watching Wilder's fight again. Even you watching it the first time, like I said, there's toss up rounds cause for a reason. There's toss up rounds because you think someone was doing good. Wilder was doing good, you know, and there's just some moments, like so for instance, round 4 and 5, I could give Wilder those rounds. The toss up, I have no problem with those being anyone's argument rounds because Wilder was controlling the jab, the pace, the stage, the show. It seemed like Wilder took it back. Fury wasn't. He was active, but to me, it was more dressing. You know, it wasn't serious like the other rounds. Like rounds one, Fury was serious. Rounds 6, 7, 8. It seemed like 4 and 5, Fury wasn't as much. 6, they did it like 4, 5, and 6. They went a little slow. You could those are still in rounds 4, 5, and 6. The action was a little lulled in there, but especially to me, 4 and 5 was real slow, and it seemed where the action was slow, Wilder Wilder was doing good. All of a sudden, like the action was so slow, Furia let off a combination. It'll be partially blocked, some will land. The weight in the punches move Wilder, so it's like, oh shit, you know. So 4 or 5 to me are toss up rounds. 6 is a little bit, but 4 and 5 I could give to Wilder, and it makes a draw to me, like I said. But now the thing is, fight's a fight. Fight's done. I'm gonna stop talking about it. So the draw is a draw, but the rematch. What do you feel like the rematch? Because me, Mr.A, the host of your show, the WRT Boxing Show, the Ready Talk Boxing Show, I am not a big fan of rematches. I am not. I like as you guys, the audience, you watch this show, you know I talk the belts. Well, we talk the belts. Like I said, it's your show. I'm just a host. We talk about all the belts, the intercontinental belts. We talk about the rankings. When it's a draw, I'm not a fan of the immediate. You had your shot. You had your shot. Someone else gets it again. Now, if the rematch is in the rematch clause, I'm not sure if it was for both fighters, but I knew there was one in the contract. You know, there's so much talk going around between contracts and rematch clause between AJ and Wilder, double rematch clause, and Fury. I got fucked up with the clauses. Now, obviously, I'm pretty sure if Wilder lost, there was a rematch clause. If Tyson Fury, the challenger, loses, I'm not too sure. So, someone please leave me in that comment. Like I said again, on a draw, I'm not a fan of this fight being the next fight. I can understand that. I think it's gonna be a good fight, and I don't see how it'll play out different. You know, both fighters are gonna have to be more aggressive, and it'll be different because I thought at any given time, I thought Fury could have knocked Wilder out. You could see Wilder looked a little befuddled, looked a little gassed in the middle rounds. The combinations seemed to be landing easy, and the rhythm. It seemed like Wilder could figure out the rhythm of Fury's offense, and he was tagging him at an offbeat, consistent pace. So I think if he would have just turned it up, I think his coach even said, like, go out there and knock his ass out now. His coach saw what I saw. It saw Wilder was probably about a 30-second hardcore flurry from going to me. Now, and then, so if Fury turns it up, that's what he'll do, I think. Seeing that fight, it's highly possible to me Fury can knock out Wilder. And then we know Wilder can knock out or knock down, even possibly knock out. You know, was that count long? He could do it to Fury, but he's just going to have to mix up other punches. He's going to have to mix up other punches. Like, he was going to the body stab early in round one, but Tyson caught him with that left hook check. You know, when he bent down to stab him, and Deontay stopped doing it. I think he needs to be a little more elusive, tricky, disguise it, but keep the jab to the body. Maybe double it up, then third one go down, right high somehow. He's gonna have to keep that body stab jab in there, and just be a little more punch selection. You know, what else can he really do? He did do more body attacks, stab the body, hook it somehow, some way. But he needs a type of body attack. And pump the jab. but they both got to be a little more aggressive. You know, Wilder needs to be aggressive but accurate, a little more accurate with his punches. You know, instead of just swinging for that head, because he had Tyson Fury a couple times. Yes, Tyson Fury was dodging a lot of shit, but if Wilder would have just took his time instead of just throwing those haymakers when he had Fury on the ropes, maybe Fury wouldn't have dodged and ducked every one, you know? Like he was doing the same ducking pattern, Deontay. He's ducking to his right, you know? Like stop throwing your haymaker right away, you know? You're baiting him. He's dodging the first one because it's telegraphed. And he's down there, and yet he still threw that second one right over. So slow it down a little bit, but be aggressive. They both could knock each other out. I am definitely a believer of that now. Like I said, I'm not a fan of rematches. Now, if they each have a fight in between and then the next fight, I'm definitely for that. At least, like I said, if the champ didn't lose and he had a draw, hey, he had a hard fight. You had your opportunity with the champ. Get back in line, and all you need is one more fight. Just one more fight. And you could probably, if the rest of the people ain't looking good, then hey, you get it. You get a quick rematch. But if it's you ain't looking too par in this rematch, get another one, and then hope you, like I said, or fight another contender. Fury needs to get it. Fight another contender or just another match. I don't want to see a rematch right away. I'd rather see someone else in the rankings. Cause I think at that time Fury was number 3. You got Dylan White number 1 in Brazil somewhere up there. I'd rather see Dylan White probably gonna get the April one, so I'd rather see Brazil. Let that be the fight in between. And then, hey, if it's the rematch for Fury, it's the rematch for Fury. I just want to see something. I didn't like the Triple G Canelo rematch. I didn't like the Frampton Leo Cruz rematch. Even though I think there was a fight, I'm not too sure. I just didn't. I don't like. I'm not a rematch fan. I'm not. Some people dig it. They like the anticipation of the story continuing on. Well, what was the rematch just recently happened? Was it Canelo, Triple G? I thought there was another one. I thought there was another one. I don't know. Well, hey, this is the Double RT Boxing Show. I'm your host, Mr.A. That is my thoughts on the revisiting Fury and Deontay Wilder. A draw is not impossible to understand. A rematch right away, I say nay. Maximum 2 fights at least, but I'm okay with one in between, depending on how that looks. This is the Double RT Boxing Show. I am your host, Mr.A. Thank you for tuning in. If new viewers, please subscribe. Old viewers, hit that thumbs up.